are in South Dakota, heading down to Mitchell, South Dakota, and we want to meet today a very interesting person. His name is Kleve, and Kleve is a third generation running the company's North Central seed. Company started last century in 60s by his granddad, and Kleve still successfully running it. So we want to meet Kleve and see his business from inside. He's specializing in specialty seeds, a lot of small, tricky seeds. So we're gonna see his business from inside, what challenges he's facing, how his business run, everyday operation, and the machinery he uses to accomplish his great results. Also, we're gonna learn about his customers. So pretty much stay tuned and let's take a little inside look at seed business right here in Mitchell, South Dakota, North Central Seed Co. Guys, and it's another cool story over here, and we are in Mitchell, South Dakota. I have Kleve Klingaman here. Nice to meet you in person finally.
Yes, finally.
And this is North Central Seed Co. And we're gonna be looking at this business closely today. We're gonna open the door to how the seed business done, who are the customer, what is the tough work behind it, what are the challenges, and how Kleve overcome of that challenges and provide you the awesome, clean, perfect product for your seeding purposes. Let's take a look. So, how did you originally start it? How's that business started for you? Why this business?
This business started in 1959.
I wasn't even born yet.
So my grandfather started this. He was in the seed business, came to Mitchell in 1934, and just with what he had in his car, and he worked for a place called Dakota Improved Seeds downtown, and he was the manager. So in '59, he started North Central Seed, and 2 years later, my dad came back and went into business with him. But back then, I mean, it was a whole different world than it is now, as far as seed processing. But we'd buy seed from the farmers, process, and then they'd ship out rail cars worth of seed back then. Things evolve, as time goes. There's a lot of different people as seed cleaners out there now. So once I took over the business 15 years ago, we started buying newer equipment, and which at the end leads me to you to probably some of the most advanced equipment I've ever worked with. And it can do things that I've never been able to do before and make product that's worthless worth money again.
Wow, so, that's pretty cool. So we're talking about color sorter, right?
Yes,
the METRA color sorter.
The color sorter, definitely.
That's amazing. Okay, let's kind of go as we go closer to your cleaning location. Like, who are your customers mostly?
Okay, mostly my customers are a lot of other seed companies. So I do organic. I clean organic seed, and I clean for big companies that don't have cleaners. So they'll send me their product, I process it, and then ship it back. It's went up to Canada, out to Minnesota, Illinois, places like that. And usually if they have something really tough that they need processed the right way, then I'm the one they call.
Okay, I'm a customer and I have a problem with this seed. How do I find you?
A lot of it's word of mouth. Honestly, the big companies will send people my way. I honestly don't even have to advertise.
Wow, I like this business. Maybe I'm in the wrong business now.
I have a schedule 10 to 12 months out of the year I'm processing seed. It's usually the larger companies if they need something done, or farmers out west. It's word of mouth and doing a good job and having a clean product.
Totally.
Honestly,
That's
all it
reputation.
is. Yeah,
that's
and,
reputation, hard work over the years.
Yes. Yep.
That's pretty amazing.
Yes.
And okay, so right now, let's say somebody watching this video and they want to connect with you. How do they do that?
They can call our number, 605-996-5451, or they can call me personally at 605-999-0437, or text that number.
Okay, that's Kleve.
Yep,
you
that's
know,
me.
if you need specialty seeds and you need it clean out of any crop possible, he's the guy.
Yeah, or you can email me at northcentralseed@gmail.com.
Okay.
That's my email. I do a lot of small seeds like switchgrass, alfalfa, things like that, but I can take, so like the switchgrass we're doing now, we're taking giant foxtail out of switchgrass, and there was a lot of giant foxtail in that, and it was pretty much worthless, but now it'll be worth money.
Wow.
So,
okay, so that's the guy for you guys. And
Yep.
don't worry if you didn't write it down, because we're gonna put it underneath of the video. You can find all the connecting information there. But Kleve have everything what it takes to take a worthless product and put it, into money mode,
Yes.
where you can sell it
Yes.
for the top dollar. And that's amazing. That's amazing transformation behind it, and it takes a lot. Trust me. We're gonna go back there now and see all your machinery.
Okay.
You have quite a bit.
perfect. Yeah, perfect. So with these companies I do business with, they'll ship me, certain things I don't do here during the year. So I sell a lot of lawn grass, tons of that, but I don't process any because I'm in the wrong area to do that.
Okay.
So most of the stuff I process is for field CRP. If somebody wants to have their wheat or oats done, I can do that too. If they have a special problem with something, I can take care of all that.
And you're doing a lot of work for the National Reserve, right?
The conservation reserve program, yes.
Okay,
Yep.
that's pretty good. So you work
Yep.
with the government as well. But overall, how that works for Canadian customers, for example, because we had a funny story. We were coming out of North Dakota. We have a warehouse in Berthold, North Dakota, and we were hitting down a Regina show, in Canada, Regina Farm Show. And right on the border, we went through American border just fine. Nobody really comes out. There's all the automated systems checking you out. As soon as we got to Canadian border, the two women with German Shepherds came out, and they saw the grain cleaner, and they look inside and they say, okay, you have like a handful of grains there. You need to hoover it. We're like, guys, there's a bird. There is no really gate here. The bird's coming from that side to another 100 times a day and moving that grain. Wind, deers, you name it. It's like, no, you need to hoover it. We don't want any of this grain there unless you have a special permission. So we literally got the hoover and was just cleaning the whole machine, make sure not a single grain cross the border.
Yeah.
So, but I see you have so many here.
We just do a bill of lading, and we have to say what's in it, and if there's a noxious weed in there, everything has to be declared and brought over the border. Sometimes there's a delay with customs, of course, and it's either packed in these mini bulks, or we put them in 50-pound bags, like this. But usually it's not a problem if you have the right paperwork. It's inside a semi, and they let them through. But just as long as we have the right paperwork, we're good.
So mostly you work with American customers and Canadian customers?
American customers, and a lot of those American customers may have a seed in Canada that needs to be refined a little bit, and I get sent that stuff. It may have been processed and they can't get a specific weed out.
Right.
Then they send it to me, and I can most of the time get it out.
Okay. That's cool. I see there's quite a few different specialty grain here. Like, what are these type of grain you're dealing with usually?
So I deal with, as far as seed, my company deals with switchgrass, alfalfa, Indian grass, big blue stem, little blue stem, Garrison creeping foxtail, which I showed you earlier.
I can't even pronounce it.
We sell a lot of lawn grass that I get, that I get in from other companies. Reed canary, intermediate wheatgrass, pubescent wheatgrass, brome grass. Mostly deal in grasses and alfalfas. The same with the processing. It's grasses and alfalfas.
Right.
I'll do some lots of grain if somebody wants me to, and if there's something that really needs to be taken out. I'm getting a little older to be, doing grain.
Stop it.
But when I was younger, I did a lot of grain, and I've moved a little bit away from that and into the specialty crops. If there's something that's in there that needs to be taken out, I can pretty much do it, and I usually don't say no very often. So
get it done all pretty much, right? It's not.
A lot of times it's just a challenge to see if I can do it.
Oh, that's cool.
And if I can't do it, usually I'm disappointed.
Right.
But it's a challenge to see if I can take seeds out of other seeds that nobody else can.
Makes sense.
It's more of a thing of pride than it is of anything else on a lot of that.
That's cool. So you even over the years, you didn't lose that competitiveness and the pride, of getting something done with other. That's cool.
So I started. My dad had me back on one of the older machines that's not here anymore. So when I was 13 years old, I started processing seeds, started learning. And I'll be 54 here in a few months. So I've been processing seed all that time. And I went to South Dakota State, got an agronomy degree. I worked in the seed lab. So I did seed analysis for 5 years. While I'm cleaning the seed, I can see what's coming out or what's in there. I take it under, and I prepared something to show you of what we're taking out of the switchgrass today.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like it usually comes like this in the totes, or
it comes in totes. It comes in semis in bulk or bags, or it can come in a lot of different
shapes.
Yeah, a lot of different things.
And you have to send it back same way it came, or?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, pretty cool.
We got to use new bags. We can't reuse these.
Same ones.
Yeah, we don't reuse the same ones. We just keep going with. We just get new bags, and we want to keep a standard of excellence and not have anything left over in the old bags.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what are the most challenges in your business? Like what make you start going towards new technology, buying expensive machinery, and deal with all this new technology stuff?
I think if you want to get ahead in the game, you should buy new equipment every year.
Oh, wow. Okay, makes sense. It's good for me, but yeah.
Well, it's go big or go home. I mean, if you want to be good at what you do, you need new technology. You can replace your old equipment that's wearing out, and you can get new equipment, have something nobody else has that only you can do. There's not a lot of color sorters in South Dakota, I don't think anyway, but I get people wanting stuff done with the color sorter. So
makes sense.
But challenges are, sometimes not all the other machines, they can't do what the color sorter does. It's just, they can't do it. So you have to keep moving forward with new technology to make your business more profitable.
Totally agree. But was there like a specific trigger, like situation, what make you think, okay, I cannot get away without color sorter anymore. I just need that thing here.
Okay, I had a lot of red clover that someone brought me. It was probably a couple totes, and I cleaned it on the gravity, cleaned it through the ricer, and it didn't get it 100% like I wanted it.
Right.
And I felt bad. I didn't charge the guy because I didn't feel like I didn't do a good enough job. There's still stuff in there. He couldn't sell it like he wanted to, so
it was red clover and
there's giant foxtail in it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that got the ball rolling in my mind, and then the second thing that came up, which made me buy one, was one of my organic customers came to me and said that they had Canadian thistle in their Timothy, and turned out there's a lot of field pennycress in there too, which I didn't know about. But so we ran that through 20,000 pounds and basically took all that out. The requests of customers trying to make something worthless worth money.
That's pretty amazing because, you know, what you're saying, I don't even know the half of it, what the machine does, you know what I mean? You're telling me combinations, which I haven't even thought of, you know, selling that equipment.
Yeah.
So it's really, you possibly know better than us what the machine is capable of.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I run a lot of small seeded grasses through your color sorter. You know, alfalfa, grass, clover, all that can go through there. And something as small as Timothy, which is a very small seed, we ran through this winter and it did a great job. So
that's pretty cool.
yeah. Well, and I know you're geared towards green, but I'm here to tell you it works well with the small seeded legumes and the small seeded grasses also.
Yep.
So, and that's basically what my business is.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
And what is it you're cleaning today? What we can take a look at?
Today we're cleaning switchgrass, and there's giant foxtail in it, and it's way above the legal limit. So I've been holding this lot for a customer for a couple of years now, and bought this new technology last spring, 4 months ago, and it's time to finally have time to go through it. So today we're going through that and getting all the giant out. And
let's take a look.
As you can see, you can see the black seed in there. So it's taking out, I mean, there's little pieces of ergot in there. There's giant foxtail in there. And there is also some whole switchgrass in there, which is going to take out. But it takes out way more. We have a lot more good seed than we do, bad seed coming out. So it's doing its job very well. And this was something that your company had set up for me before I got the cleaner, and I'd sent you a sample, and you'd set it up for me, and it does a great job.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how often you use the machine?
Anytime that I have one of those special lots that need to be processed. So I'll be using it probably a lot more now that I know that it can do this, because a lot of people, sometimes they don't spray their seed for weeds out in the field. Well, this will be able to take it out now. So it'll be, but this, there's times I've run this 24 hours a day.
24, so you go to sleep, machine working?
Machine works all night.
And you wake up in the morning, you come and it's still working?
Come out here at 10 at night and check it, and I'm here at 7 in the morning, and it's still going.
Wow.
So it's working while I'm sleeping.
That's cool. That's off the color sorter?
That's off the color sorter.
That's a reject?
That's reject off the color sorter.
Oh, wow.
And this is my dad's father here. He started the company, Charles. He used to like to smoke cigars a lot, but sometimes on a windy day, if it hits it just right, you can smell cigar smoke in here. Still.
His spirit is somewhere here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have one of those, and my money tree gonna grow.
Yeah.
And maybe my kids gonna say the story of their business with their tree on the back picture, right?
Yeah.